Welcome back to A320 Knowledge, your trusted source for Airbus expertise. Today we're diving into one of the three hydraulic systems, the yellow system. Let's start with the big picture. The 320 is built around three completely independent hydraulic systems, green, blue, and yellow. Keeping them separate means one leak or one failure can never drain the others. Every system runs at a normal operating pressure of 3000 psi. That's the number to anchor everything else to. Here's the golden rule. You can move power between systems, but hydraulic fluid is never transferred from one to another. Each system keeps its own fluid, regardless of the others. The flight controls are deliberately spread across all three systems, so losing any one of them still leaves you flying comfortably on the other two. And this is the idea that unlocks everything. Yellow is the system you can bring to life on the ground with the engines shut down, and that single fact explains almost everything it powers. So how do we actually put pressure into yellow? The main source in flight is a pump driven by engine 2. Whenever that engine is turning, the yellow system is pressurized, and this is your normal, everyday supply. The second source is an electric pump for the ground, used with both engines stopped when green and blue are asleep, and a common exam trap. Unlike blue's pump, it never runs in flight, so with both engines turning, the yellow electric pump stays off. The third is beautifully simple. A hand pump lets the ground crew work the cargo doors by hand alone, with no engines and no electrical power at all. And the fourth source is the PTU, which can drive yellow across from the green system. We'll give that its own chapter in a moment. Here's the generation schematic for all three systems. On the yellow side, you'll find the engine 2 pump, then the electric pump beside it, and a separate line from the hand pump feeding down to the cargo doors. Each system carries its own system accumulator. Think of it as a small pressure store that covers sudden demands, so pressure stays steady when a big user kicks in. Now, a classic gotcha. All three reservoirs are pressurized by high-pressure bleed air taken from engine 1, which stops the pumps cavitating. So engine 1 quietly supports the yellow reservoir too. If that bleed pressure is ever too low, the air is taken from the cross-bleed duct instead. So the reservoirs stay pressurized and the pumps stay working. Pushing the engine 2 fire push button closes yellow's fire shutoff valve, upstream of the engine pump. So firing engine 2 also cuts yellow's main supply. 2 more valves matter. Priority valves shed the heavy users if pressure drops, and leak measurement valves let engineers isolate the flight controls to hunt a leak on the ground. Now the PTU, the cleverest trick the yellow has. The power transfer unit is a two-way link between the yellow and green. Yellow can pressurize the green, and green can pressurize the yellow. Whichever one needs the help. The magic is that it's 2 hydraulic units back to back on a common shaft. One system spins the shaft, the other is driven by it, so power crosses over but the 2 fluids never touch. It runs automatically the moment the pressure difference between green and yellow climbs past 500 psi. Below that, it simply sits armed and waiting. This is why the green has pressure on stand with the engines off. Run the yellow electric pump, the pressure gap opens up, and the PTU carries that pressure straight across into green. The PTU loads and unloads in a cycle, and that's the dog bark or growl you hear during single-engine taxi or heavy cargo loading. It's completely normal. There's some logic built into it too. The PTU is inhibited during the first engine start to avoid loading it. Then it's automatically tested during the second start. Whenever it's actually transferring power, a green hydraulic PTU memo appears on the ECAM, so you always know when it's working for you. Its amber fault isn't about the pump itself. It comes on for a green or yellow reservoir overheat, low air pressure, or a low fluid level. So with all that pressure, what does yellow actually drive? On the primary flight controls, the yellow feeds one of the 3 rudder actuators, one of the 2 stabilizer motors, and the right elevator. Each is shared so nothing is lost outright if the yellow goes. The yellow system is the only supply for spoilers 2 and 4 on each wing, and it drives your damper too. Lose the yellow and those particular surfaces drop out. The flaps are shared between the green and the yellow, and that matters. Lose the yellow and the flaps still run on the green, just more slowly, so you keep flaps but they take longer to travel. Here's the full distribution map. Run your eye down the yellow column on the right, and you'll see all the ground, utility, and flight controls users that the yellow system is responsible for. Now the groundwork. The yellow powers the nose wheel steering, the alternate and parking brakes, and the engine 2 thrust reverser. See the pattern. These are all things you need with the aircraft on the ground. And of course the cargo doors, which the yellow system drives electrically, or by the hand pump. It all comes back to yellow being the system that works with the aircraft parked. And if the yellow pressure sags, its priority valve cuts the yellow's heavy user first, the flaps, so whatever pressure is left is saved for the remaining flight controls. Let's clear up the biggest myth about the yellow braking. Here's the one everyone gets wrong. Your normal brakes are pressurized by the green system, not the yellow. Auto brake and anti-skid both live in that normal green system. So what is yellow? Yellow is the backup. It powers the alternate brake system and charges the parking brake accumulator. It's the brakes you fall back on, not the brakes you use every day. This is the reassuring part. Lose the whole yellow system, and your normal green braking is completely unaffected. You've lost the backup, but stopping the aircraft is never in doubt. Flip it around. Lose the green and braking switches to the yellow alternate system, still with anti-skid. Although auto brake is gone, lose both the green and the yellow together, however, and now it's serious. Braking comes from the yellow brake accumulator alone, a separate store from the system accumulator, and there's no anti-skid at all. That yellow brake accumulator holds enough for at least 7 full brake applications, and pressure is capped at 1000 psi to stop the wheels locking. So we have to make every one of them count. Now up to the flight deck, the panel, and the warnings. On the overhead hydraulic panel, you've got 3 yellow controls: the engine 2-pump push button, the yellow electric pump switch, and the PTU selector, normally all left in their armed positions. A subtle one. The yellow electric pump switch is spring-loaded. If electrical power drops out, the pump deliberately stays off when power comes back, so it can never surprise you by restarting on its own. Both pump fault lights share 4 triggers: a low reservoir level, a reservoir overheat, low reservoir air pressure, and low pump pressure. The electric pump adds a 5th, the pump itself overheating. That low pressure trigger is inhibited on the ground with the engine stopped. The ECAM hydraulics page shows all 3 systems side by side, each with its pressure, its pumps, and the PTU in the middle. One glance tells you the health of the whole system. Watch that pressure figure. Yellow's pressure and its label turn from green to amber the instant they fall below 1450 psi. That amber is your cue. The system is failing. One last quirk. Move the cargo door selector and the yellow electric pump starts automatically, but it also locks out every other yellow user, except alternate braking and engine 2 reverse. That keeps things safe while someone's working at the door. Finally, let's fail the system and see what you'd actually do. Lose just 1 yellow pump and, if the PTU is working, it feeds yellow across from green. You get an amber caution, but the system stays pressurized. It's a minor event. Now lose the whole yellow system. Nothing here is catastrophic on its own, but there's a real list to work through, so let's take it item by item. Ground steering's gone. You now use the rudder, differential braking, and a touch of differential thrust, and you call for a tug if you need one. The engine 2 reverser is lost, so expect a longer landing distance and plan your runway and braking around it. You lose one of the 2 yaw dampers. The other keeps working, so the effect is small. Spoilers 2 and 4 drop out on each wing, leaving the rest of your spoilers available. Your alternate brake backup's gone, but remember, normal green braking's completely untouched. The parking brake now draws on the yellow accumulator alone, so treat it as a finite reserve, not a live supply. The flaps still run, because green shares them, but they travel more slowly on one motor. Now the failure that really matters. If the green and yellow both fall to 1450 psi or below, you're reduced to the blue system alone. That's a red, land as soon as possible, at the nearest airport where you can safely get down. You're now on blue alone at 3000 psi, with the Ram air turbine there as your deeper backup. The flight controls drop into alternate law, so the normal protections are gone. The flaps are jammed and the slats run slow, so plan your approach and landing distance for a reduced configuration. The landing gear won't run normally. You lower it by gravity extension, and at gear down the controls revert to direct law. Your speed is capped at 320 knots, or Mach 0.77, because high-speed protection is lost. Braking falls to the yellow brake accumulator alone, so it's a finite reserve, and there's no anti-skid. One precision point to finish on. In this green and yellow failure, blue keeps running on its own electric pump. The rat only drops automatically if you lose both main AC buses, and when it is the one driving blue, the system runs at 2500 psi, not the usual 3000. So to wrap all of this up, remember there's 3 independent systems, all at 3000 psi, and fluid is never transferred between them. Yellow is the ground system, with 4 ways to pressurize it: the engine 2 pump, the electric pump, the hand pump, and the PTU. The PTU moves power, never fluid, and cuts in automatically at a 500 psi difference. Your everyday brakes are green. Yellow gives you alternate and parking braking, so a yellow loss never costs you normal stopping power. And losing green and yellow together is the serious one. Blue only, alternate law, and a red, land as soon as possible. Want to take your knowledge to new heights? Join our newsletter. With a brand new tech quiz emailed every month, full access to the complete question archive, and in-depth articles on systems, procedures, and techniques. Scan the code or visit a320knowledge.substack.com.